It's me again at Joy Talk. So today I'm just going to show you a different part of town of the Seoul city, which is called Ichon. So yeah, I'm actually heading away, and yeah, this is where the National Museum of Korea is situated. And if you see here, actually you can see this is the station, but here there's almost nothing. It's intended to be this way because there is the US Army base. I mean, they're moving it to a place southern of Seoul, which is called Pyeongtaek. It's the largest US Army base outside of US in the whole world. But yeah, they're still doing it, and officially in maps, they just show as if there's nothing like that. It's a common thing, and it's the reason why Google Maps is not accurate in Korea. I think many tourists might have found this fact. Google Maps is actually very inaccurate in Korea because simply Google will not consent to the Korean government, who has all these kind of restrictions regarding map data. So on the other hand, we could say Korean companies like Naver, who provide accurate Korean map data, can do that because they consent to those conditions that the Korean government set out for them. And if you see, Ichon is actually a quite pretty town. This kind of buildings, they were actually built in the 90s. Late 90s, this was like a standard form of apartment, with balconies and just enough for 2 to 4 people to live in one apartment unit. And then there are the middle school, elementary school, and even the little market they have is actually pretty well taken care of. And this part of town actually is known to be one of the richest in Seoul. The reason being, it used to be used to have almost nothing, just like any other random town within Seoul. But they started as a apartment town for government officials, and then once those apartments were gone, then they just replaced those with other apartments. And yeah, so the apartment you can see up front is actually built in the 70s, and that I mentioned those built in the 90s. And you can see there's a market over here. Nowadays they're trying to do some remodelings, meaning they don't like completely demolish the building, but they just make the inside better, but at a huge scale. So it's not just 1 or 2 units doing it, it's actually the whole building simultaneously doing it. So nowadays lots of this part of town are doing that. Yeah, and it's quite fun because Korea is quite a how should I say it's literally more than 95% of the population are Korean. I mean, although in the past history they must have been mixed with Japanese, with Chinese, and so on, but at least officially, Korean is almost one breed, and it's easy. I mean, like it's possible to get by without using any other kind of foreign language. So it's very common for Koreans to only know Korean. And so the fun part about this town is because the US Army base is so close, it's quite common to see US Army people. And accordingly, English is used in many of these little shops that we see. And also, there used to be a Japanese school close by, so even now actually many Japanese still live in this town. So this proportion of foreigners that's higher than other towns makes this part of town, in my opinion, much more interesting than others. Yeah, and that's about it for Choi Talk today. I hope you guys enjoyed this part of town called Ichon, which is in Yongsan-gu of Seoul. Thank you. If you like this video, please subscribe and like, and your comments would be appreciated as well. Thank you. Bye.